Okay, boom.
Good morning, my name is firefighter Robert Mujica. I am the Public Information Officer for DFEMS. Today we are holding the Konfitma Challenge for the island of Saipan, which is a multi-agency event where we're going to have different agencies such as DPS, DFEMS, CPA, Homeland. We come together where we have different scenarios happening. The first scenario, as you can see, happened right here at the fishing base. We had an active shooter slash detonation of a possible IED. We had a real world situation, which means that when we were calling for the medics to come to the scene, there was another emergency that was actually happening in Guam at the same time. So the response time would have been quicker, just the fact that there was an actual real world emergency. So we had to disperse. We had to call for another unit in the south. Once all units came on scene with the DPS, I noticed from the south side, DPS had their SWAT team make entry. They just took down the two shooters. Once the scene was safe for the medics to come on scene and start doing triage, triage was conducted along with DPS officers. We had about three casualties, and 2 or 3 other ones that needed to be transported to the hospital. Overall, it was a good training, good exercise. Everybody was all hands on. The volunteers, though, those guys were super on point with all the yelling and screaming. They did really good. Other than that, it was good training, really good training. I believe that everyone had something to learn from this. And we're not done yet. We still got more trainings throughout the whole day, and we have some more trainings tomorrow. So it should be a really good day.
So it looks like this stage of the exercise is going pretty well. There's a lot of involvement from several agencies, so it's achieving some of our training objectives for a joint response. These are great steps to improve the emergency response system out here, and we're looking forward to the rest of the events during Konfitma today.
happened here was that the first responder responded and found a lab here, and also looks like some improvised explosive devices materials that are being made here. So our hazmat team from the fire department came also and assessed it. There's a big things here that they can check for, but they are limited on some of the capabilities to assess further and what to do next as far as identifying further and collections of the information that we have here. So they need a backup team. So what happened here, if we have this kind of situation, is that the Homeland Security now becomes a state coordinating office for the other agencies outside of the CNMI. So in these situations, what I do is once I get the information is I inform the governor, and then our governor contacts the governor on Guam and inform the governor of the situations. Then from Homeland Security, I contact the Homeland Security on Guam and inform them the situation. So they both in Guam, they contacted the Guam National Guard and informed the general of what assistance we need. And then from there, they gave me the direct communications to communicate directly with the civil support team in Guam and explain the situations and explain the organizations that were set here and who's the incident commander here, so that when they get here, they meet up with the incident commander and share the information, pass them the information, and then they can work together or do a battle handover to the civil support team also to come in and do their additional investigations in the lab or the facilities that have been identified that contain several materials in there. So it's a battle handover to help them in further assessing and investigating the what we have here. So that's in a nutshell, that's how the operation goes.
Civil support teams, weapons and mass destruction units in each of the state and territories of the United States. They focus on mainly four things: site characterization, hazard identification, analytical support, and mitigation. So the Saipan fire made initial entry, and they took great pictures, and with those pictures we're looking for items that we can use and analyze and see some of the initial assessments. So we're going to send a team in about 45 minutes. We're going to send our team so they can complete the site characterization and maybe take samples of the products that the terrorists might be building to release. So hopefully we find those hazards, mitigate them, or identify them so we can destroy them. But that's what we're doing right now. We're about to send team one. It's going to be a joint team with our team and some of the fire, so we can help each other out, best practices. And then when the first team comes out of there, we'll get more information for the second team, and it'll narrow it down. That's the key, is narrowing down what the hazard might be so we can mitigate it. So our teams were together with the fire department. We were able to make 2 full entries, and we confirmed the initial assessment of what the hazards might be, and we definitely confirmed the intelligence. The analytical team did a great job and identified the initial hazards. They were all confirmed, and the IC, the incident commander, was very happy with the findings, and it definitely met their objectives. So what happens now is, because we met the IC objectives, either law enforcement is going to go back in there for evidence collection, or they close the sites down by destroying the hazards. But on the hazmat side, we checked all 3 buildings, cleared them for hazmat, CBRNE, and awesome job from both our teams and the first responders of Saipan. So overall, great exercise of all the capabilities that we have, identifying our gaps, and hopefully building on those gaps and getting the response level to where we need it to be, so that we can protect Saipan and the Marianas as a whole. So, good job.
Yeah, well, first of all, it's a really good experience for the whole department, as far as the officer and everyone else, because this is the first time DOC is gonna take part on the Konfitma training. So we played in for us. It's a big role of activity that what we went through. So the scenario is, of course, hostage. It's a holiday season. The inmates is drinking homemade moonshine. Refused to comply with the officer's order as far as being locked down, and then I believe assaulted the officer and held him hostage. And then that's when officers they called in for assistance. Officers all responded. Apparently the suspect had the officer already by the neck, and he has his gears and radio, and gave that warning that you guys penetrate, I'm gonna stab this officer. So that's when everyone stepped back. The operation commander comes in, assess the situation, immediately identify that it is a hostage situation. So as immediately we put the initiate the lockdown, isolate the area, and try negotiate pertaining the situation. So with that said, immediately we contact DPS, hack control, contact DPS for assistance. and based on my observation, already we know that we needed to get a negotiator in. From there, DPS other partnership arrived, and after the negotiator try as much as any ways of means to keep it safe and get the suspects to give in. Apparently the suspect doesn't want to comply. Well, aside from his needs that he's requesting, and from there we requested for the DPS SWAT. That's where Chief Saurus comes in with his voice to initiate the breach and the extraction of the situation.
Okay, so our part is, responding. Like you said, the DOC calls for assistance, letting us know what the situation is at hand at DOC. We get to find out how many people involved, how many suspects are there, is there any weapon involved, knife or gun, so that we can do our own planning, get the floor plan from them, and, just see that, make a plan and go in, making sure that, we don't go in blind.
Are you happy with how your team operated today? Well,
they did well. They did well, honestly, but, like I always emphasize to the guys, training is a must. It only becomes better when you keep doing it over and over. Sometimes it's frustrating for the guys, for doing the same thing, but you know what? When things happen, you're ready. Because if you don't have training and we're just going in there, it's a suicidal mission for everybody.
What do you think they could improve on from your point of view?
What we need to improve on is basically everything. We just need to repeat. It gets better and better and better, but when we come to a stop or a stall for no training, that's when, things start going down again.
Mr. Cripps, can you tell us, you coordinated this, can you tell us why we decided to include DOC this time around?
Yes, so the Konfitma series of exercise, one of their main benefits is increasing the chance for joint interoperability training. That's one of the primary themes of these exercises. So having the Department of Corrections join the exercise is a very positive direction for emergency response. As you can see in this, they were able to work jointly with Department of Public Safety to take care of an incident. So we look very forward to their continued participation, and I hope to make this more complex for everyone as we increase the opportunities for the first responder training.
So can you tell us about the Konfitma as a whole? How do you feel about how it was coordinated this year? I know it was a medium scale this year. Will we blow it up next year?
We always would like to blow up here in CNMI, so we look forward to the opportunity. This, especially after the long COVID period, we wanted to allow all the agencies, departments to exercise their policies and procedures. So I think this is that good first step, getting everyone back online. Obviously, it's wonderful everyone's participating in the exercise, so that can only make everyone's preparedness even better. So we look forward to the next opportunity to come and support training and increase the interoperability between agencies.
custody.